In time, Joseph and all his brothers died. But the people of Israel had many children and grandchildren. They had so many children that they filled the land and became very powerful. Eventually, a new king came to power, who knew nothing about Joseph and all the good that he had done for Egypt. The new Pharaoh was afraid that the people of Israel would join with others to fight against them. So the Egyptians made the Israelites their slaves and forced them to build their cities. They were hoping to wear down the Israelites with hard work and more hard work. Then Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, gave this order to the Hebrew midwives, Shifru and Paiwa, who helped Hebrew women as they give birth to babies. He ordered, "If the baby is a boy, kill him. If it is a girl, let her live." But because the midwives feared God, they refused to obey the king's orders. They allowed the boys to live, too. Then Pharaoh gave this order to all his people: "Throw every newborn Hebrew boy into the Nile River. But you may let the girls live." About this time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi got married. Jochebed, the woman, became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that he was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. But as he got bigger, it was harder to hide him. Moreover, he began to cry loudly, and the woman was afraid that the soldiers would hear him. When she could no longer hide him, she got a basket made of papyrus reeds and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and laid it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. Miriam, the baby's sister, stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen to him as he floated in the river. Soon Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and she saw the basket among the reeds. She sent her maid to get it for her. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby. The little boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This must be one of the Hebrew children," she said. Then Miriam approached the princess. "Should I go and find one of the Hebrew women to feed the baby for you?" she asked. "Yes, go," the princess replied. Miriam ran home to get her mother and said, "The princess needs you to look after the baby. Take this baby and nurse him for me." The princess told the baby's mother, "I will pay you for your help." So Jochebed took her baby home and looked after her own baby openly, with no fear of soldiers hearing his cries. Later, when the boy was older, Jochebed brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. The princess named him Moses, for she explained, "I lifted him out of the water." Moses was taught all the knowledge of the Egyptians. When Moses grew up, he left the palace and went out to visit his own people, the Israelites. He saw how hard they were forced to work. During his visit, he saw an Egyptian beating one of his fellow Hebrews. Moses was so angry, and after looking in all directions to make sure no one was watching, Moses killed the Egyptian and hid the body in the sand. The next day, when Moses went out to visit his people again, he saw two Hebrew men fighting. He tried to stop the fight. "Why are you beating up your friend?" Moses said to the one who had started the fight. The man replied, "Who made you our prince? To tell us what to do? Are you going to kill me, as you killed that Egyptian yesterday?" Then Moses was afraid, thinking, "Everyone knows what I did." And sure enough, Pharaoh heard what had happened, and he ordered Moses to be killed. But Moses ran away into the desert of Midian.